The class of 2010 voted for the upper school faculty member whose hard work, determination, and selfless giving have challenged students to strive for excellence and to achieve their full potential. This year's recipient of the Revenus Award is upper school English teacher Tex Tourais. Tex is in his third year in MICDS, and during this short time he has distinguished himself in many ways, launching the highly successful Lincoln Douglas series in 11th grade English, relishing his evening parent gatherings, serving as JV tennis coach, and wowing the upper school community with his chapel talk. He takes great pride in working with his students on their writing, demanding rewrites until they get it right. With regard to his teaching, one student stated, quote, "I really like the atmosphere of this class. It's open and relaxing but engaging and rigorous all at the same time." And another wrote, "P.S. I voted for you to speak at graduation, so start preparing something. I expect words of legend." I'm confident we're in for a treat. Sit back and enjoy. Tex, the microphone's yours.
Thank you, Lisa Lyle, for helping me keep expectations low. I'd also like to thank the class of 2010 for giving me this truly stupendous opportunity to humiliate myself in front of you, your family and friends, this illustrious faculty and staff, a couple people who have wandered in off the streets hoping for refreshments, the MICDS alumni, the ghost of William Greenleaf Eliot, my wife, and my mom. Hi, Mom. Rest assured, I expect to seize this opportunity with both hands. I intend today to reach well beyond my mental acuity and attempt to define the word good, a task that has stymied greater minds than my own. But worry not. What I lack in wisdom and intelligence, I make up for in volume and fist pounding. I begin with two assumptions. The first is that goodness exists. It is a physical entity in this world. And the second is that what we do matters. I have to have some foundation, some bedrock to stand upon in order to have any chance at all. So if you feel that you cannot even entertain one or both of these assumptions, then now would be an excellent time to use the restroom. I will create a diversion while you sneak out the back. Look, a duck. A couple more seconds. Good. Now, when Jean Paul Sartre tried to do the same thing, tried to whittle the world down to one fact, he said, "I think, therefore I am." And I think that is a statement of truth. And our words can do that. They can say truth. They can articulate truth. They can point it out and say, there it is, that's truth. But that is not all our words can do. In fact, it is the very least of what our words can do. Our words can also create truth. And I give you as an example a phrase of meaning and power, and that is the phrase, "You are not alone." When one human being says that to another and puts behind it the full weight of his or her conviction, truth is created. That other human being ceases to be alone, and to be alone is horrifying, raised to the power of terrifying. To say that phrase, to mean it, "You are not alone," is to accept a great burden. It is to choose to care. It is to choose to accept the responsibility of another person's day in and day out struggle against loneliness. That is what makes it so critical and important. It is to wage an exhausting and unending war on alienation. And alienation is pitiless and relentless and thorough. It comes to the king in his castle and the drunk in his gutter. And when you take up arms against that abyss, you subvert your own self-interest and you become good. Now I know, believe me, I know, that this world is hell-bent on making us believe that the greatest thing we could possibly do with our lives is nothing. That the path to true happiness is to do nothing and find a way to do it forever. And if we do anything in this world, what we should do is avoid responsibility. And that is no way to live. Believe me, I've tried. That period of my life is referred to as college. And for me, college started in grade school and ended about 2 minutes before I became a teacher. If you want to be happy, if you want to be able to believe in your own goodness, you must accept responsibilities that it is not your responsibility to accept. You must believe that your friendship has value. In a world that strives to remind us of how little we control, that is something we do. We have that power. We are a force of nature, a hurricane, an ever-loving typhoon. Just feel the energy in this room. It is palpable. The vibe radiating off of this mass would be enough to blow me off this podium if I was not abnormally dense. I never had my appendix removed. I have a large head. I'm wearing those weight training exercise shoes for my glutes. This was a cavern, a void, a null space, and we came in and we filled it with crackle and life, and everybody in this room knows what it feels like to feel another human being, whether it's the flutter of a soulmate on a first date, or the nervous strum of a kid off to take a test, or the well of ache that is a loved one's sorrow. We have felt each other, and it feels like beauty. Even vicarious sorrow is a treasure. Why were we built? To feel one another's pain and joy, if not to build our lives around it. And that is it. That is good. To take another and bind him or her to yourself. We should not be in the business of looking for some external good. We should be in the business of making good, of doing right, of creating truth. Now, there have been those that have bet against community. The tiger, for instance. The tiger chose beauty. And the tiger is beautiful, mesmerizing. There are a lot of beautiful things in this world, but it is a rare beauty where when anybody sees you, they immediately think to themselves, I must kill that, and wear it as a coat and a hat. I like that one. The tiger is so beautiful, in fact, that it is the world's favorite animal, just on that. In a recent Animal Planet poll, it garnered 21% of the vote, beating out the dog at 20. The dog. I like that animal. Oh, you mean this one here? The one that would die for you and protect your family? The one that is loyal to a fault? That wants nothing more than just sit at your feet? No. The one behind it that would kill me and eat me and say, you know, I don't even do it for the protein. I just like to see the looks on their faces. Essence of Tiger went to the great maker and said, I want beauty. And the maker said, yes, but to be beautiful is to be alone. And Tiger said, be specific. And the maker said, you will be as Narcissus, beguiled by his own reflection in a pond. And Essence of Tiger said, I don't get that illusion. And man said, I do. And Tiger said, shut up, ugly, we know you went for brains. And the great maker said, you will be trapped in a cage of your own gorgeosity, and you will shun others, even your own kind. And Tiger said, be specific. And the great maker said, the tigress will defend a territory of up to 12.5 miles, while the male of the species will defend a territory of between 40 and 60 miles, according to Wikipedia. And Tiger said, deal, and became beautiful and solitary. one tiger for every 30 or so miles. And that is too high a price. For we are stones dropped into a pond, and that pond is life. And the ripples we create are what we choose to embrace, and we should do nothing except work to expand those ripples. What will you embrace? What will you encircle? Just yourself, your family, your school, your community, your country, your nation, your species? I choose to embrace you, class of 2010. There may come a time over the summer when you will wonder whether you have acquired what you need here in order to be successful out there. Whether you will doubt whether you have what it takes to garner esteem. So I have a gift for you. A reminder that you will never be alone. That behind you and around you and above you and within you is a legion of faculty and staff and family and friends. I have talked to over 50 faculty members over the past month from the lower, upper, and middle schools. That number is defined by the number of teachers who have my free period, minus the number of teachers who run screaming when I walk into the room, Lynn Mittler. And I have asked them, what is critical to know? What is it that is the most significant facts? What do you need to know in order to be successful? And I have taken that information and I whittle it down. And I have created a cheat sheet for life. And it is where all cheat sheets should be. If you check now, it is stuck to the bottom of all your chairs. I'm not kidding. This list is a collection of all the knowledge you will ever need. If it is not on this sheet, you don't need it. Keep it with you at all times. It is pocket-sized if you have abnormally large pockets. You may, for instance, one scenario, be walking across the quad at Gettysburg, and a junior, a girl, young lady, might come up to you and might say to you, Peter Kalinowski, I am a double major in biology and sociology and a double minor in chemistry and everything else. I am also a future Olympian who will be competing in 2012 in 3 sports, volleyball, water polo, and cross-country hotness. It's a sport, according to Wikipedia. Although I am brilliant and talented and possess the beauty of a tiger, I am at a loss when it comes to my entry-level drawing and painting course. Would that there were a man, regardless of looks or intelligence, who could help me with where to start in this class. If there were such a man, regardless of looks or intelligence, I would be indebted to him for life. You can stand up, look into her tiger eye, and say,
when sitting down to paint or draw, it is the same when making a momentous life decision. Establish your horizon line.
Peter Kalinowski, you are some fella. I want to dedicate my life to taking moonlit strolls on beaches with you and discussing our feelings. That's what she would say. It's not too bad. Or, while on a path that will eventually one day lead you to becoming the first Supreme Court space surgeon, when your mentor, Dr. Zemanoff, comes up to you and says, Taylor Bartley, it is 2022. We need someone who can remove a gallbladder in zero gravity while ruminating on the finer points of constitutional law. Surely a person such as that would have, in her high school French class, learned how to make a decent vinaigrette. You can look into Dr. Zermanov's cold android eye and say,
2 tablespoons chopped shallots, a half a cup of white wine vinegar, 1 teaspoon Dijon, a half a teaspoon of salt, 1 egg white, 6 roasted garlic cloves with
Taylor Bartley, you are a mind warrior who has stabbed me in my android ear with your brain sword. If my mechanical tear ducts could cry knowledge, they would. That's what he would say. Or third scenario. David Turkin, I am your future son, little Davy T, whom you refer to as Munchkin or the Turklet. Clearly you are aware that young boys struggle to become men if they have an inadequate or incompetent father figure. With that in mind, can you help me study matrices for my intergalactic, trans-species, four-dimensional Algebra 2 final space examination sponsored by E-Trade? You can pat the Turklet on the head and say,
Take a nap.
sage advice, Papa T. Clearly, these examples prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is no scenario where this card will not come in handy. And I hope it makes you bold and courageous and excellent. But you must remember that it is merely a list of cold, dead facts. And as such, it is heartfelt and well-intended and essentially useless, unless it gives you the confidence to know that you deserve friendship, and that your friendship, freely given, is a gift beyond measure. So now I would like to conclude, not with someone else's quote. I did not write an impossibly long speech, just to let someone else have the final words, even if that someone else is Winston Churchill. You too, Gandhi. Back of the line, Abraham Lincoln. Instead, I would like to speak for your friends and family, the faculty and staff, the class of 2011, some strangers still holding out hope of refreshments. There are no refreshments. Let it go. The ghost of William Greenleaf Eliot, my wife and my mom. If in your wanderings and machinations you come to a place where there is no hope, where you're filled with loneliness or despair, turn your eyes towards home. Turn your eyes here. And if there be buildings where you are, look through them, and if there be just horizon, then squint. And when you do, you will see a little speck, and that speck will be us, waiting, frantically. So now, go on, get, because you're breaking my heart.